I write the equation of the line that has a slope of 3 and y-intercept of 1. We can use y is equal to mx plus b. That's the general equation of the line, with m being the slope. In this case, it says slope is 3. So if I replace this with 3, and the y-intercept is the b, the y-intercept is equal to 1. So equation of the line that has a slope of 3 and y-intercept of 1 should be written as y is equal to 3x plus 1. This is the equation of the line that would have the intercept, y-intercept of 1 and the slope of 3. Just to recall, there are other formulas for equation of the line. The other one is point slope formula. Let's write here y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. We call this point slope formula because what we know in this one is 0.1, which is x1 and y1, and then the slope is m. Slope is equal to m. This is another formula that we can use to write the equation of the line. But if it's up to you, I still suggest everybody use y is equal to mx plus b. It would be a lot easier. There's one more general equation for a straight line is ax plus by is equal to c. This is a general equation of the straight line. Sometimes I ask you to write the answer in the general form. If they ask you to do that, then in this case, like in this example, if I wanted to write this in general form, I have to move the 3x to the left by subtracting 3x on both sides. So I get 3x plus y is equal to 1. So that would be this form. So for most part, you want to write y is equal to mx plus b and look for the y-intercept and the slope. In this case, both of these are given to us. We're going to use this, and that would be the equation of the line. Okay. Here it says, what is the slope of an equation that is perpendicular to equation y is equal to 4x plus 3. Okay. When two lines are perpendicular, anybody know the relationship between their slope? If let's say this is line L1 and this is L2, and then they make a 90 degrees angle here. Okay, can somebody tell me if the slope of the first line is a over b, what is the slope of the second line would be if they're perpendicular? Anybody know? The relationship between their slope. Those of you who are online, you can click on the talk button and tell me if you know it. Okay, it's negative and reciprocal. So if the slope of first line is a over b, the slope of other one would be minus b over a. So the slope of this line here, y is equal to 4x plus 3, since already in the form of y is equal to mx plus b, I can just look at the coefficient of x, and that's my slope. The coefficient of x here is 4, or 4 over 1. So the slope of this line here is 4 over 1. If it's not in that form of y is equal to mx plus b, you can just simply solve for y, and the coefficient of x would be your slope. It says, what is the slope of the equation that is perpendicular to this line? So if the slope of first line is 4 over 1, the slope of the line perpendicular to that would be negative and reciprocal of this. Reciprocal of 4 over 1 is 1 over 4. So the slope of the line perpendicular to that would be minus 1 over 4. All right, we want to write the equation of the line that's passing through point 3 and 2 and is vertical line, and part B is a horizontal line. If the line is vertical or horizontal, you can write the equation of that just by looking at the graph. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph this. What does that look like? If we look at the x and y axis here, if this is y axis and this is x axis, let's locate point 3 and 2. So I'm going to go on the x axis 3 units. On the y axis, I'm going to go 2 units up. right there. So my line gonna passes through this point. For part A, it says vertical line. So I'm looking at the vertical line that passes through this point. So we're referring to this line here. This is the vertical line. Okay. Can somebody tell me what's the equation of this vertical line would be equal to? You notice that along these line, the x is always equal to 3. Regardless of what I substitute for y, x is equal to 3. If x is equal to 1, if y is equal to 1, x is equal to 3. If y is equal to 2, x is equal to 3, and so on. So that means the equation of this would be x is equal to 3. That's the equation of the line that passes through point 3 and 2 and is vertical. So the equation would be x equal to 3. You notice that y is missing. The reason y is missing is because its coefficient is 0. So you can put plus 0y here to just remind you that y is not there. So you can see if I go ahead and substitute for each y 0, 1, 2, any number I substitute for y, x would be equal to 3. So this would be the equation x equal to 3 for a vertical line that passes through that point. Similarly, for part B, this was for part A. For part B, we locate the point again, 1, 2, 3, and 2. So this time, the line is horizontal line. It's a horizontal line. So it means you're looking at the line that passes through this point here, but it's horizontal. This time, regardless of what I substitute for x, y would be equal to 2. Okay, so if I look at my chart here, whatever I substitute for x, I can let x equal to 1, 2, 3, whatever I substitute for x, y would be always equal to 2. So the equation is y is equal to 2. Okay, so the second one, to y is equal to 2, is the equation of the horizontal line that passes through this point 3 and 2. And again, you could look at this as y is equal to 2 plus 0x. Again, regardless of what I substitute for x, as you can see, y always would be equal to 2. So to write the equation of vertical and horizontal line, we can just locate them and write the equation of those. Okay, here it says, determine if the line x plus 2y equal to 2 and 2x plus 4y equal to 3 are either parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Remember, we said if two lines are perpendicular, we did that in the other session, the slope, their slope would be negative and reciprocal of each other if they are perpendicular, if they make a form of 90-degree angle. So if the slope of this line here is a over b, the slope of the other line would be negative b over a. Okay. Now, if two lines are parallel, anybody know the slope of those? If the slope of first line is m1, the slope of the second line is m2, you conclude from there that the slope would be exactly the same. m1 would be equal to m2. The slope is exactly the same if they are parallel. Now, another fact you can recall here is if they're perpendicular, if you take the slope of a line that is perpendicular with the slope of the line that is perpendicular to that, the product of their slope, m1 times m2, always would be equal to -1. So that's why if you reduce this, you can see it's equal to -1. So it's just another fact that you want to remember. If two lines are perpendicular, the relationship between their slope would be such a way that if I multiply their slope together, that would be equal to -1. Okay. So in this case, in order to see whether you're parallel, perpendicular, or neither, then I need to solve for y to find the slope. Now, by the way, neither would be if there's no relationship. If one is 2, the other one is 3, so they're neither. They're not. There are no parallel or perpendicular. Okay, so in this case, we have x plus 2y is equal to 2. In order to find the slope of this, I need to solve for y, because I want to get it into form of y is equal to mx plus b. Then coefficient of x would be your slope. So if I do that, I can subtract x from both sides of the equation. I get 2y is equal to minus x plus 2. If I divide each term by 2, so y would be equal to minus 1/2 x plus 1. So the slope of first one would be minus 1/2. If I do the same thing with the second line, okay, the second line is 2 that would be 2x plus 4y is equal to 3. If I solve for y, I have to subtract 2x from both sides of the equation. I get 4y is equal to minus 2x plus 3. If I divide each term by 4, then I would get y is equal to minus 2 over 4x plus 3/4. It looks like I can reduce this. So this becomes 1 minus 1/2. So the second line would be y is equal to minus 1/2 x plus 3/4. You see the slope of the second line also is equal to 1 negative 1/2. So we can conclude from that they are same slope, so they are parallel. Okay, here it says given the point f of 2 is equal to 4 and f of minus 4 is equal to 8. Let's see what that means. F of 2 is equal to 4 means when x is equal to 2, y is equal to 4. This corresponds to x, this corresponds to y. So if I were going to show it on the little chart here, when x is equal to 2, y is equal to 4. So what they're really giving you is a point. They're saying that your graph kind of passes through this point here. So instead of giving you a point 2 and 4, they're saying just differently. F of 2 is equal to 4. Similarly, f of minus 4 is equal to 8 means if x is equal to minus 4, y is equal to 8. So they're giving you another point, negative 4 and 8. These are the 2 points on the line. Given 2 points, you want to calculate the slope. Okay, so first thing I have to do is I have to label this. This is point 1, this is point 2. So this would be x1, y1, x2, y2. This would be your point. Now, if you remember, the slope m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's all I have to do, just substitute the values here. So here I have y2 is 8 minus y1 is 4 over x2 is negative 4 minus x1 is equal to 2. So I get 8 minus 4, which is equal to 4. Negative 4 minus 2 would be minus 6. I can reduce this. That would be 2 over negative 3. So this is the slope. Or we can write this as negative 2 over 3. Both are these okay. We can put minus 2 over 3. This all means the slope is minus 2 over 3. That's part A. For part B, write the equation in a slope-intercept form. You can remember y is equal to mx plus b. I know the slope is minus 2 over 3. I don't know b, I can solve for b if I substitute for each x and y in this equation either of these 2 points. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to pick this point here, 2 and 4. Everywhere I see x, I'm going to put 2 or 2 over 1. Everywhere I see y, I'm going to put 4 or 4 over 1. So you get 4 over 1 equal to minus 4 over 3 plus b. To solve for b, I can add 4 over 3 to both sides of the equation. So b then would be equal to 4 over 1 plus 4 over 3. So that's equal to 8. The LCD is 3. So you need to multiply this by 3 over 3 first. It would be 12 plus 4. So here we get 12 plus 4. I give you over 3. So that really is 16 over 3. Okay. So that is the slope. That is the y-intercept. We know the slope is minus 2 over 3. So now I can go ahead and write the equation of the line. Let's write it in form of y is equal to mx plus b. So this, now I know slope is minus 2 over 3, and my y-intercept is plus 16 over 3. So this is the equation of the line that passes through this point, 2, 4, negative 4, 8, and the slope we already find is equal to minus 2/3. Next one, asks you find the y-intercept. For y-intercept, you let x equal to 0, solve for y. If I let x equal to 0 in this equation here, y would be 16 over 3. So this is my y-intercept. To find my x-intercept, you let y be equal to 0 and then solve for x. If you let y be equal to 0, so in this case, we have y is equal to minus 2 over 3x plus 16 over 3. So we're going to let y be equal to 0 and solve for x. So this would be 0 equal to minus 2 over 3x plus 16 over 3. To solve for x, I need to subtract 16 over 3 from both sides of the equation. I get minus 16 over 3 is equal to negative 2 over 3x. To solve for x, I can multiply both sides by reciprocal of this number, which is, in this case, is 3 over minus 2. So I have to multiply both sides by 3 over minus 2. So these are going to turn on to 1. So on the right-hand side, I get x is equal to, here I can reduce that. This two reduces. This would becomes 1. This becomes 8. And negative, which turns out to positive. So it looks like you just get 8. X is equal to 8. So if y is equal to 0, x equal to 8. So this is the point where your graph going to intercept x-axis. That's why they call it, this is x-intercept. And remember, with the y-intercept, we let x equal to 0 and solve for y. We did that earlier. X equal to 0, solve for y, that would be 16 over 3. So this point here, 0, 16 over 3 is your y intercept. That's how you find your x intercept and y intercept. Okay, so now the last one says graph the line. Okay, there's several ways we can graph this. We can locate these points, or I can actually write down my slope. The slope is minus 2 over 3. I can write as minus 2 over 3. So in order to graph this, let's take all this information here and graph the line. To graph the line, I need 2 points. I can either locate those points or locate the y-intercept or x-intercept. In this case, I'm going to locate x-intercept because that's easier to locate. If I locate x-intercept, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So from this point here, the slope is minus 2 over 3. So there's 2 ways we can look at the slope. We can either look at it as minus 2 over 3 or 2 over minus 3. Those mean the same thing. The slope is rise over run, changing in y-axis over changing in x-axis. So it means rise over run. So if I look at the slope being minus 2 over 3, it means from this point, if I go down 2 units, I go down 2 units, and I go to the right 3 units, I get back to another point on the line. Or I could say from this point, if I look at the slope being 2 over minus 3, it means if I go up 2 units and 3 to the left, from this point, if I go up 2 units and 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3. So we land on different points. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5, and this is 2. So this point here would be 5 and 2. That would be another point on the line. This point here that we found here, we go 5, 6, 7, 8. This point is 8, and go 9, 10, 9, 10, 11. 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. So this point here would be 11, and going down 2 units minus 2. So as you can see, you can find a couple of points here. If I connect these points together, that would be the graph of my line. And you notice that I'm using slope and one of the point to graph the line. I select one point, which is in this case here is 8 and 0. And I'm using the information, the slope being minus 2 over 3 to locate another point on the line. Or you could locate these 2 points and approximate 16 over 3, and also you could also roughly graph the line as well.